Hello, welcome to Chinta's YouTube channel. I am Somik Karfa, one of the faculties of Chinta. Today our topic of discussion will be a problem based on pigeonhole principle. Basically, this problem is based on two topics. Let me share the problem first, then we'll discuss about the topics. Here. If you can read the problem, if n is a positive integer not divisible by 2 or 5, then n has a multiple made up of ones only. So at the first glance, the problem seems to be on the topic of divisibility, but basically we'll take help of pigeonhole principle to solve this problem. Before we start, you can give it a try. So you can pause the video and try to solve this problem. Okay, so now before we start start solving this problem, we will try to see what pigeonhole principle is. Okay, so pigeonhole principle is a very simple yet a very strong principle that we can use to solve a vast range of problems. What is that? Let us see. So let's say if you have, just hold on a moment. Yeah. So if you have, let's say, four bucket with you and five pigeons, and you are asked to accommodate those pigeons in these buckets. Okay. So how you can do that? And the rule is you can put multiple pigeons in one bucket. So there are many ways to do so. You can put all five pigeons in one bucket, or you can put four in one in another. Okay, let the other buckets empty, and in such way you can get many ways to put these pigeons in these buckets. And the best possible way that can be is like this: you can put four pigeons each on one bucket, then you will be left with one pigeon only. When you will try to put that fifth pigeon in one of these buckets, then at least one bucket will contain more than one pigeon. Okay, that is pigeonhole principle. Now you may think that how we can use solve a problem, because this is very simple. Okay, that is the interesting thing about pigeonhole principle. So we'll see how we can solve that problem that we have seen earlier using pigeonhole principle. Okay, so let's get back to the problem again. Here is it. So n is a positive integer not divisible by 2 or 5. Then n has a multiple made up of only 1. Like there will be a multiple of n where all the digits of that number will be 1. Okay. We don't know the number of digits, but whatever, how many digits are there, all of them are 1 only. Okay. First of all, we need to notice one thing, that n is not a multiple of 2 or 5. That means n is not a multiple of 10. Okay. That's the main thing we have to notice. Now what we'll do? We'll consider a list of numbers. Those are, let's say, like this. 1, first we'll consider 1, then 11, then 111, then 4, 1, okay, and so. Okay, so nth term of the sequence, we can say, if we denote it with an, that will contain n ones in it. Sorry, that will contain n1 in it. Okay, so there are n digits, all are 1. Okay, now think if one of these numbers, so how many numbers we have considered? Actually we have considered n numbers. The last number here is that an. Okay, the last number here is n, that an. So we have considered n numbers here, and all of them are made up of 1. So if one of these number from this list is a multiple of that n we are talking about, then we are done. We have nothing to do. Okay. But if not, then what happens? Okay, let us see. Now we need to see a very interesting property of divisibility, that if you divide any positive integer by the number, by any integer n, then the possible remainders that you can get are 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or all the way up to n minus 1. Like you can give it a try. Like you can try to divide several numbers, let's say with 3. You'll see that you can only get the remainder 0 or 1 or 2, not more than that. Okay. So now if we try to divide any number by n, these are the different remainders that we can get. Now, if we try to divide all these numbers by n, we cannot get 0. Why? Because we already considered that none of these numbers are divisible by n. So we should not get 0 as the remainder. So the possibilities of remainders are starting from 1 to n minus 1 only. Okay. Now think, we have n minus 1 buckets. We have n minus 1 buckets. These are our buckets, or we can call it pigeonholes. Okay. Pigeonholes. So let us call them holes. We have these many holes. All are tagged with these numbers. One hole is tagged with 1, then another with 2, 3, 4, and so on up to n minus 1. And we have n pigeons. Those are our pigeons. Pigeons are also tagged. Like there is a pigeon called 1, there is a pigeon called 11, then 111, and so on. Okay. Now we'll put these pigeons in those buckets according to their remainder. Okay. So let's say if we divide 1 by n, we should get 1 as the remainder. Okay. That is the possibility that we should get 1 as the remainder. Okay. So we'll put this 1 in this bucket called 1. Okay. If 11 gives us 2 as the remainder, we'll put 11 in bucket 2, and so on. Okay. Now by pigeonhole principle, what we can say, there will be at least one bucket which will contain more than one pigeon, or at least 2 pigeons will be there, right? Okay. Let's say those pigeons are AI and AJ. Okay. AI and AJ are the pigeons which are in the same bucket. Okay. So AI is what? AI is a number made up of I digits. All digits are 1. Okay. And AJ is a number made up of J digits. All digits are 1 here. Okay. J digits, all digits are 1 here. Now, they are in same bucket. What does that mean? That means they have same remainder when we are trying to divide them by n. That means if you subtract these two numbers, then the resultant number that we will get, that will be divisible by n, isn't that? Okay. So let us subtract AI from AJ. Without any loss of generality, we can say that I is greater than J. That means AI is greater than AJ. So let us subtract AJ from AI. Okay. So there are I1 and there are J1s. So the resultant number, whatever the number will be, that will contain I minus J1s. There will be I minus J1, and then remaining numbers like J digits will be 0. Okay, J digits will be 0. Okay. Now this number can be represented as I minus J1 times 10 to the power J. And we know that n divides this number, right? N divides this number. Okay. Now think, n is not a multiple of 10, and that gives us n cannot divide 10 to the power j as well. Okay. N cannot divide 10 to the power j, as n is not a multiple of 10, so it should not divide any multiples of 10 as well, right? So any power of 10, that will not be divisible by n. But n divides this total product. N divides this total product. So n must divide this part then, as n does not divide this 10 to the power j, n must divide this. Okay, so that means this number here, 1, 1, 1, I minus j1, containing I minus j1, this is the multiple of n, and this multiple contains all digits as 1, right? So that proves our problem. I hope you have enjoyed this problem. We'll meet again in the next video. By then, keep doing great mathematics. Bye.